Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for August 14, 2025. And in the news this afternoon, man dies after alleged attack on cop inside Ocho Rios lockup. The Independent Commission of Investigations is probing the fatal shooting of a man who allegedly attacked a policeman while in custody at the Ocho Rios lockup in St. Anne on Tuesday. The deceased has been identified as 32-year-old Samain McBean, a laborer of Milford Road in Ocho Rios. Reports indicated that about 8:40 a.m., McBean was in custody when an alleged confrontation occurred between him and a police officer. During the incident, McBean was shot and injured. He was taken to the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Woman suspected to be mastermind behind the deadly attack on St. James, a policeman and his family, arrested. A woman suspected by the police of being the mastermind behind the deadly gun attack on a policeman and his family in St. James on Saturday has been taken into custody. She was arrested at a guest house in Hanover on Wednesday. She is expected to face a questioning from investigators. The police reported that the policeman, his wife and their young son drove to a location in the vicinity of Elevated nightclub and lounge in Reading, St. James, where he had arranged to meet an individual with whom he was involved in a motor vehicle transaction. However, shortly after they arrived at the location, they came under gunfire. The policeman's spouse, 36-year-old Latoya Crystal Stevenson, a human relations manager of Montego Bay West Village, was hit several times and died on the spot. The policeman and their young son were seriously injured. The injured cop, whose identity was not released in the police's official report on the incident, is reportedly attached to the Area 1 Lottery Scam Task Force. Reports are that the child, who suffered bullet wounds to the head, and the policeman, who sustained gunshot wounds to the upper back, were both admitted to a medical facility in western Jamaica with life-threatening injuries. Since the incident, the police have launched several operations to find the attackers, resulting in the fatal shooting of two suspects during alleged confrontations. The news understands that on Wednesday, another of the suspected attackers was fatally shot in Salt Spring, St. James. This brings to 3 the number of suspects killed by the police since the incident. On Tuesday, Andre Lickle Reed was fatally shot in Shooters Hill, St. Andrew around 4:30 a.m., while Lyndon Gray, otherwise called Fras or Sassafras, was shot and killed during an alleged confrontation in the Anchovy police area in St. James around 1 a.m. on Monday. Meanwhile, the National Neighborhood Watch movement has added its voice to the condemnation of the deadly attack of the policeman and his family. We are deeply saddened at the loss of his wife. The more than 20,000 strong watchers in communities island-wide, law-abiding citizens, and all well-thinking Jamaicans support and stand with the JCF against the lawlessness, criminality, and the violence, especially against the security forces who serve, protect, and reassure us daily, the organization said in a release. St. Andrew licensed firearm holder charged with assault. A St. Andrew licensed firearm holder has been charged for allegedly using his gun to hit a man in the face during an argument. Charged with assault occasioning bodily harm, assault at a common law, possession of a firearm with the intent to injure, and using a firearm to commit a scheduled offense is 55-year-old Ricky Nelson of Castle James Road. Reports from the Concerned Spring Police are that at about 1 p.m. on Thursday, August 7, Nelson and another man were arguing over stones that were blocking the path leading to the man's house in the community. The argument escalated, and Nelson allegedly pushed the man to the ground and used his licensed Glock pistol to hit him in the face, according to the police. The man managed to escape and reported the incident. On Friday, August 9, Nelson turned himself in without his firearm. He was taken to his residence, where the firearm was retrieved and seized. Nelson was subsequently arrested and officially charged on Tuesday, August 12. Man killed, 2 held as police seize a firearm in massive operation. A man was shot dead at a church, 2 others arrested on warrants, and an illegal firearm seized during a massive operation on Matthews Lane and other sections of downtown Kingston on Wednesday. The operation involved more than 100 police personnel and almost 30 soldiers, and was also conducted on Rose Lane and the West Street area of the downtown Market District. The dead man was identified as 24-year-old Michael Edwards from Alamanda Drive in New Haven, St. Andrew. The seized weapon is an AK-47 rifle with an empty magazine. The 2 men arrested on warrants are Mark Anderson, 37, and Dean Lloyd, 25, both from West Street, Kingston. They were being sought for multiple breaches of the Road Traffic Act. Reports indicated that while the operation was in progress, at around 5:45 a.m., Edwards, who was admitted as a mental patient at the Kingston Public Hospital, attacked a nurse and a security guard and fled from the compound. On reaching West Street, he reported to enter the compound of the All Saints Anglican Church, where he attacked a policeman who was part of the operation with a pair of scissors. It is alleged that the cop, in fear for his life, discharged 1 round from his service pistol at Edwards, who ran to the back of the church. It is further alleged that Edwards was pursued by members of the military and used the scissors to attack a soldier who discharged 3 rounds at him from his M4 rifle. The now deceased reportedly fell to the ground, suffering from injuries to his upper body. Members of the security forces managed to open the gate to the premises and transported Edwards to the KPH, where doctors pronounced him dead. The pair of scissors was reportedly retrieved from the now deceased. The operation continued and several men were detained. While conducting interviews, it was discovered that 2 individuals had outstanding warrants and they were subsequently arrested. Police intelligence suggested that the AK-47 rifle was a part of the Spangler's gang's arsenal. Father of 3 remanded in fellow dancer's murder. A dancer accused of fatally stabbing his fellow group member during a post-rehearsal altercation has been remanded in custody following his appearance in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday. Raoul Reed, a father of 3 from Almontown, Kingston, has been charged with murder. Reed's attorney, in presenting arguments to the court, stated that her client was trying to part a fight which broke out following a dance rehearsal as he was the dance marshal. He also disputed witness statements that her client was the one who stabbed the victim. Your Honor, he is maintaining his innocence. The fact that he was merely called into the station without counsel, it shows that, Your Honor, that he is responsible. He is cooperative, and it shows that he is somebody who would go to the police upon request, but also to come to court upon request, said his attorney, adding that he is a breadwinner for his family and has a stable place of abode. She also argued that her client has no previous convictions. However, presiding Judge Peter Wilson, after listening to her arguments, noted that the attorney would only receive 1 opportunity to apply for bail for her client and suggested that she use it wisely. Do you want me to consider this as a bail application? You only get 1 opportunity to bail him out. Do you want him to use this one? I am going to deny you, that's clear. The man is charged for murder. I am asking for his fingerprints order so that the court can have an understanding of who he is, he said. He is set to return to court on October 21, 2025, when his attorney is expected to make a bail application. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.